do it now, because we should be live. Officially, it'll flash and do its whole things, because I did the flash and do its whole thing.
So is there a way to host without first going live? Is there a way to...
Oops, okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Do I have to go live myself in order to host and then end my stream? Or can I host without going live?
I think you can just host without going live.
Let's try it. Where?
I also did a Sweet Infinity chat a second ago, so that was fun.
Ooh.
I accidentally had it up in my browser.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Didn't work?
Well, I just don't know where to do it from in Streamlabs.
I think you...
Because the chat doesn't pop up until I hit go live.
If you go just directly to your channel and you're logged in, you should just be, I think it's like /host and then username. I think we'll do it.
Let's find out. Channel. Oh, this looks accurate. Host. What was it? Them Dave? Is that who you are here?
Yes, Them Dave on this one. Which is funny because the So David is like an account that's like 3 years older.
I really thought that was Dave S at first. Because I knew you were Them Dave, and then I saw another Dave, and I was like, that's S.O., yeah, Dave Sopiagra.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look, I'm hosting you, and I didn't go live.
Hey, thanks. Look at the creepy little zombie man running. I don't know if anybody has this up in live, but...
I don't know.
Open it.
I usually host you too. I don't know why it never works.
Okay, I can see everybody.
Whoa, there's this cool D&D stream. Let them Dave. Dungeons and Dragons. What? Looks good.
I definitely need to mute the stream, though.
Yeah, same. See, what's cool is now in the video... Whoa! Thanks for the sub, Da Sombrero. And look, it's totally not Haunter, because I don't know if we have the rights for that pixelated character.
It's Scare Ghost.
It's Spoopy Boy.
Spoopy Boy, that's right.
Yeah, I finally figured out how to do that, so...
That's funny, because actually, Jenny... the Twitch Prime, no, the Amazon Prime isn't her name, so she's just subbed to me as well.
Nice.
That's how that happened just now. So.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining. Not at all. Okay, so we got a couple tweets and links shared out, which is exciting. Does anyone want to give us a little recap before we get into it?
I don't think anyone but Tristan is allowed to do this.
That's true. Really
Thank you. Sorry.
Hey,
I didn't realize. All right. So last time on the Electric Dice podcast, we were able to escape Dustow after being chased by spooky skeleton boys who were also wheels, and there was this lovely moment where Riley, our lovely gnome dude, Goose Crumplebottom, had his magical square to protect us all. And Squid's characters, Kaylin Stanford, also did some things, and I think accidentally was the one who got a spooky skeleton wheel into our cart. But that's fine, it was good and dramatic. Nico Voss, played by Dan L.A., proceeded to do cat things and also stab at things. Z2, played by Dan S., I'm pretty sure kicked the creepy skeleton boy out of the cart, which was good, and also didn't get dunked on by it. Drib, played by myself, proceeded to ram the cart through a whole bunch of paladins and holy people and commit so much blasphemy. It's a lot. But we escaped the city and arrived at the home of this lovely man here, who he even invited us to dinner with his totally not cursed dead doll daughter thing, who's alive, and currently he's like kind of hurting her by digging his fingernails into her, as we're having a lovely dinner of fine breads and other pastries and pies, and weird gravy soup item.
Wasn't your best recap, but it was not your worst recap.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll get better.
It wasn't that bad.
I was a little foggy on what happened.
I mean, it was mostly accurate. So,
All right.
pretty much what he said. The group escaped Dustow, thus the name Escape Dustow. This is actually Session 5, not Session 5 like last time. Last time was Session 4, and I can't count, so that's fun. The group escaped Dustow. They met a man. His name is Julian. He looks like this. If you ever watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, he looks like that.
Julian.
He has a daughter who seems to be a possibly animated, possibly possessed little doll. And the group ended with two very exciting things happening. One, yes, he was kind of creepily, possessively, like, holding on to the doll's, like, shoulders and, like, glaring, and it seemed to be, like, screaming out in pain. Although it wasn't screaming, it just, its eyes had gone wide and it looked very uncomfortable. This is something that those of you who have remained in the room are noticing now. And Drib, which is a Kenku druid played by Tristan, is smuggling Goose Crumplebottom, who is a gnomish sorcerer cleric, played by Riley.
I didn't know the multi-class.
He did.
Wait, I'm multi-classing now?
No, you sometimes you seem like a cleric. Smuggling him out of the room whilst apologizing. And that is where we return to the game already in action. So, who wants a scene first? Do we cut to the scene outside between Goose Crumplebottom and Drib, or do we stay with the panic doll eyes inside the room?
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Staying in the room?
Yeah, I want to know.
Oh, I meant go to Goose.
Oh, I mean, we can do that too.
All right.
Everybody roll for initiative. No.
All right, so we are currently probably just outside the front door.
Yeah, I guess you're probably like dragging me out the door. I'm still shouting. Oh, come on, Paylor's great. Yeah, why'd you take me out of there? I was really getting through to him.
Goose. No, no religion at dinner.
Goose kind of pouts and looks around for a little bit, tapping his foot, and he catches out of the corner of his eye that like rickety harvester thing over out in the fields.
Yeah,
is it over there?
They're still going, right? None of them are very fast, but there's like 2 or 3 kind of like out, sort of like, because I think they like run them parallel a lot, like they do with snow plows. So yeah, but there's one that's like not too far away.
Yeah. You know what leads people to Paylor? Acts of kindness, strength. I bet if I fix up his old harvester, he'd be pretty appreciative.
No, Goose, remember, Paylor is not in your words. Paylor is in your heart.
And my heart says to go do a good deed, and maybe he'll see the ways of Paylor. And Goose starts like waddling over to the harvester with a purpose.
Goose,
a gnomish purpose to tinker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
So are you following him then?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
I used to work all the time in my father's shop. I did such a great job that he sent me away to work professionally at the church.
Yes,
Goose,
that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. I have an idea. For rather than work on the harvester, you quietly pray for him from your heart.
Paylor is a man of action.
He's not wrong. All right,
Dang it, Paylor.
I like it. So
you don't get those abs by doing nothing.
Oh no.
Those beautiful beach ball sized abs.
Ew.
Oh, that's really unhealthy.
He's a very large man, you see.
Goose, it's dangerous. It's farming.
It's sexiness.
Yes.
It's Paylor.
It's Paylor. It's Apple.
I was. Oh no.
Alright, I like that. So we see Goose waddling off towards a combine harvester. We'll deal with that in a moment.
No.
We're back in the room. So I'm going to move the gnome and the bird. What are the rest of you doing? Because this guy, he's just just stressed out. He's like a little wild-eyed. He looked like he's like, how dare you come into my house and say hateful things like that?
Well, so if I'm not mistaken, Z2 just tried to offer to bring the doll, thinking it was his daughter, back to life, right? You know, something like that.
Yeah. And he was like, she can speak. And
yeah. I'm creeped out, but I've seen worse. So I'll say, pardon me, sir. I don't believe that we ever exchanged names. Would you mind telling me your name and your daughter's name here? I'm Nico Veas.
I feel like they did exchange names at some points, but maybe you didn't get his name because his name was Julian.
Okay. Maybe I just didn't write it down. I had nameless written down here, but
I don't remember who approached him first, so it's possible that it just didn't get passed along. It's also been 2 weeks, so I'm willing to. We'll say that either you got it before, or yeah, for whatever reason you didn't get passed along, and you're like, look, this is who I am, right? Like you formally introduced yourself.
Yeah, if I did get it, then I'm just asking for his daughter's name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like who might this be? Your lovely daughter.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me a So right now it would be a persuasion at disadvantage, unless you have something to try as some bargaining chip for me.
I can't think of anything, so I'm just gonna go for disadvantage here.
Okay. Oof.
How'd I do?
Punishing.
How'd I do, Dad? Oh, it was a 19.
I know, it would have been good. Yeah, so he looks and he like shakes his head and he like releases his grip right on the doll, and he kind of snaps back into like this is not a father of the year by any means, but you know, he kind of like squats down a little bit and you hear the creaking of old bones, such that, you know, like you worry if he'll be able to stand back up again with just these knees popping. He leans in and he like tucks the hair like behind what would be an ear if it were there, but it's not, right? And he just like he says, "This is my daughter May."
May, it's a pleasure to meet you. Do you have any tales to regale us of your times on the farm here? What do you like about being here? Because he's said that she talks plenty, so, you know, I'm curious. I want to hear her talk. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you remember, he was like, she talks with her eyes. So go ahead and roll me an insight. It'll just be a straight roll.
Okay. Oh, where'd it go? Insight. Boom.
Oh, yeah. Why are you so keenly aware of fear in another's eyes? Why does that stir within you so clearly?
I think being a bartender, you know, one of the city's like larger bars in the area, I think I've seen many patrons who have been kind of struck with fear by the people around them. You know, maybe some shady characters who have been trying to coerce others at the bar, things like that.
Okay, sure. You will have to spend some time to figure out if this is fear of everything or fear of her father. But right now you only see fear.
Okay.
So
yeah, I was gonna say, does anybody else want to do anything?
G2's still checking out this doll because he notices that something's not quite right. Did we say that he realizes now, like this guy Julian said that she's alive and he knows that she's alive, so he's not going to try to, you know, push the resurrection thing at this point. But he still knows that something's not right with this whole situation, and so he's kind of just taking it easy from the conversation at this point because he doesn't know what to make of it. It's very odd.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he is keenly aware that, yeah, like, supposedly this is a daughter, right? This is what is or was a living creature. Yeah, things are weird. Definitely things are weird.
But potentially dangerous, but not going to assume that at this point.
Okay. Kaylin, what are you doing with this?
She's happy to let Nico continue doing the talking and watching as she continues.
Is she what?
Continues to eat dinner.
Oh, nice. Okay, sure. Why not? This seems like more of a Squid thing than a Kaylin thing. Like, yeah, go ahead. Oh. Okay. Yeah. He isn't really paying attention to the fear right in her eyes. He just sort of settles back down. He's like grumbling to himself and murmuring. He's like, cuts, a part of his, meat pie or whatever, right? Jams it into his mouth, starts chewing, stops, and with his mouth hanging open full of food, he's like, "Hey, youngin', got no respect. He doesn't know how things are."
I think at this point, G2 jumps in. Yes, my apologies for our little friend there. He's not quiet.
He means well. He loves Paylor. He wants everybody to love Paylor. Not everybody knows who Paylor is.
He's kind of here like saying, "Paylor is good." Like just muffled. Like.
Have you ever been so in love with something that you just, it consumes your thoughts? You can't fathom why anybody else would feel differently. And he kind of glances over toward the doll while saying this.
Yeah, and he just like goes back to eating. He's just like scowling at all of you. Right? Do you guys press conversation, or are you content to have a mostly silent dinner?
I think the only thing I would want to make sure that you realize is I think G2 would want to say, just please, sir, just trust that not all of us share the gnome's views on life.
Yeah, I think he agrees with that. As he sort of nods.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would want to ask him would be kind of like, well, say again, thank you for allowing us to stay in your barn tonight. Is there anything we should keep an eye out for while we're there? We're not familiar with these lands. What should we be, what should we be alarmed by? What should we not be?
Yeah, I think he talks a little about like this farm and how he got it from his father, and how his grandfather, worked the fields elsewhere before then. And he like does that like, I'm an old person and now you have to listen to me talk for a while, right? That they're so good at. Is anyone like playing along, or are you guys like skip scene?
If there's no apparent danger, then GT's content to just let it ride.
Okay.
Same.
Both of you go ahead and roll a charisma check for me.
Charisma saving throw? Or just charisma?
More or less.
Oh, okay.
Why didn't it pop up?
Charisma.
There we go.
Damn.
Oof.
Look at that.
Alright.
Yeah.
So G2, he seems to kind of, you have like the right nods and the right like probing questions as he goes on and on, right? And throughout, the next 20 to 30 minutes as he sort of rambles on about like the finer points of growing, and he calls it grave wheat.
Okay.
And that's what he's been milling all, to create all your pastries. He settles on two things. One of them, that there are 3 prize-winning plants out the back of the barn that he instructs you not to touch. They're his prize winners, and they will be treated with respect.
Okay.
2, if that little one wants to return, wants to come see him tomorrow and greet him like a man and ask for forgiveness, he will accept an apology.
Okay. Yeah, that seems unlikely. Oh, okay. Of course, I would be more than happy to pass this along, but you may understand my hesitation in any promise that may change, not for lack of effort on our part.
Yeah, he nods and says, "You don't speak for him. I understand. He wants to come back, meet me like a man, and apologize for coming in and speaking ill in the house. I'll give him one chance."
But of course, and you're so generous to do that, even that.
Yeah, he smirks and he waggles a finger. He says, "You really set on going to Olinsky?"
We've come so far, it'd be such a shame to turn back at this point.
Yeah, he narrows his gaze. He says, you don't want to bring that little one with you."
You seem to know something.
Olinsky, it's quiet there. They like it quiet. They really like it quiet. Anybody that's not quiet gonna stick out. You don't want to stick out, do you?
Are you suggesting that we would be in danger by making our presence known, that we have anyone associated with Palo?
Yeah, right? He's uncomfortable by that name.
My apologies with that deity.
Yeah, he
with
says
sexiness.
He says, "Well, yes, of course, but I mean it in a bigger sense." It's like, "Come on with me." And he gets up and he walks out of the room.
Okay.
And now it's just the doll. And at some point, it moved closer and put its little doll hands towards
I hate that.
Nico. Nobody saw it happen. Just
Did I see it happen?
You see it now, but you didn't see it happen.
Ooh, I hate that.
So Julian just left the room?
Yeah, he just got up and walked out. He was like, "Come with me," and he walked out of the room.
Okay.
All right.
Did G2 see that, or
See what?
see the doll move?
No one saw it move, but you see it's in a different position now.
Okay. I think
It does the
G2.
weeping angel thing.
Okay. I think G2 gives it like a quick look and looks over at Nico and like looks back at the doll and just says like under his breath as he moves after Julian, he says, "Good luck with that one." And then just follows Julian.
Does
Pretty
anyone
sure
else?
I've seen a movie like this.
Does anyone else go out of the room?
Yeah, as soon as Kaylin notices that, she stops mid-chew, drops her fork, and hurries after Julian.
Okay, so it's just Nico and the doll.
Yep.
Who would you like the camera to stay with? Or is it time to pan over to where Goose and Drib are?
If we can come back to this scene after we go to them.
He just comes back to him. He's being strangled by a
I'm
flying
sitting
doll.
here comfortably.
Yeah. So I believe it to be Goose's intention to, at the very least, understand how these giant contraptions work, and at the worst, improve one.
That's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm desperately trying to think of a way to not just outright stop him, but divert course. And he said this was about Paylor, right? So I want to try. I'd like to, if possible, make a religion check to figure out if anything I've ever seen or read, or if there was some passing priest and there's conveniently anything about the Church of Paylor at this point to help me.
Nobody knows.
All right.
I mean, go ahead and roll. But I mean, I don't.
Got it.
Yeah, so I mean,
Nailed it.
I'll tell you, I don't think the faith of Palor has anything to do with repairing machines, but you know, like a gnome's innate curiosity.
Is there anything to do with then, like, either so his whole goal with this was to like make this guy like get in his good graces, I think. Is there anything more subtle, like a really long, intricate ritual, or some other distraction that I might know of, or some wise Palor advice that I could use to try and divert?
Ryder, is there anything that would turn Goose away from this and the tenets of the religion?
Oh gosh, I don't even know.
Like,
I guess if you solely expressed interest in converting, I think Goose would certainly love that.
I can't. That would be. I can't. That would be blasphemy.
All right, so here I'll name it, right. So you start talking about religion, and let's say Goose turns around and is like, "Oh, you want to learn about the Pelorian religion?"
Sure.
You just said you don't.
I learn about it. I just can't convert.
So, Goose, go ahead and roll a religion as well. Get advantage.
Where are you? Religion. You are here. 1 and 2.
Oh.
You get.
Yeah, we'll have to toggle your auto advantage roll off, but I'm fine with the 10 and the 22. It's way funnier. You give a brief overview of the Pelorian religion, right, and its many tenets. And as you're doing that, one of the combines is coming closer. So you don't get to fiddle with it quite yet, right? Because Drib's doing a pretty good job of being interested in asking interesting questions about the juxtaposition of light and the many stars, and how is one sun more important than the others when they're all the same thing. It's just this one's closer, but it'll run out of gas someday too, and isn't it all just a big old fart pile anyway?
Yeah.
And the combine gets up nice and close, and I would like both of you to make a perception check.
Oh boy.
Is there a way to quickly turn off the auto?
Yes, you... Oh, no, wait, this is the one I'm not used to. Oh. If you go next to there's core bio spells and then a gear, there'll be
gear.
Never roll advantage, or...
Yeah, you want prompt usually.
Yeah.
Or query, I guess it is.
Query advantage, yeah.
Query advantage. Always roll advantage.
Well, I don't
Query
notice this
advantage.
thing.
There we go. Alright. Sweet. So, perception. I thought I clicked it. Oh, don't do this to me.
You could just roll a d20
I think
and add
that's
your
what I'm
wisdom.
gonna do.
I mean, it's weird that it's giving you trouble, though. It was just working a second ago.
Yeah. There.
It's because a menu would have popped up asking if you wanted advantage. I just remembered. That's...
for the query.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled a d20 and it's a +0, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so neither of you actually see what's going on here. Basically, and you'll forgive me because I don't 100% remember the explanation I gave, but they were like very rusted, but like fiddly contraptions filled with kit bashed material, right? They were these giant, like, kind of eldritchy machines, very big, very large, and they were definitely held together with not just like scrap metal, but also like twine and bone. And they were sharp and they looked unhealthy. They looked like they were gonna cut you even at a distance just by looking at them. But they were just kind of slowly trembling along across these fields. One tearing things up and putting down seed, and another, harvesting the grain that had already been, had grown. And you guys just see them, and up close, like, despite being like of very poor materials, they still really are quite impressive, right? Kind of like autonomous on their own, just, you know, slowly milling about. But the camera does like an overhead shot, and in the back of the one that's planting, we see that there's just like this, for lack of better terms, like a compost. And at first we see, you know, like what's very clearly like old meals, you know, like refuse and you know, like parts of like animals and stuff that like they look like a little more run down and a little less healthy than we might expect, and obviously they are, you know, beginning to turn. But then, like, you know, so the thing sort of like pulls across the screen, so we see like the sharp implements at the front, right, and then like the start of the fertilizer bed, and then as it pulls, there's just like 7 or 8 like human arms that are like piled into it, like way too many to be normal. And then, you know, like it just moves out of frame, and we just see, you know, Goose and Drib, and they would have to be like up in the upper right hand of the corner, right? Because we saw them and we saw the start of this thing go across the screen, you know, and then they vanished, and then the camera just showed, you know, all the body parts, and then it left the screen, and you guys are still talking about Paylor.
Whew.
So yes, he's a very beautiful man, you see.
Yes.
You can see it in several depictions of this pamphlet.
Ah!
Yes.
Pamphlet. Do you have more pamphlet?
I do, I have several. You can hand them out to everybody.
He grabs like a whole handful of pamphlets and brings them into your hand.
I really like this picture the best, where he's laying on his side with his arm behind his head. Kinda.
So out of character, who is Paylor?
I wish I could find a really good picture of him, but he's like...
He's a god of some sort, right?
He's god of the sun.
Yeah.
Okay.
The sun. I wrote it down too.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, creator of the sun. Let's see here. The light of Paylor, interactions of God with early man, and coming of darkness in the world. He loves vigor, growth, and strength. He's usually depicted as an elderly man, completely ripped with long, luscious, flowing hair.
I'm seeing. Oh, some of this is so cursed. Oh
There you
no!
go. I just put Paylor in Discord.
As long as it's. Yeah, no, I got some Google. All right, yeah, he seems like a big sun dude. All right, so the sun, yeah, the sun is great.
Yeah.
Do
you guys want to do anything else, or can I bring Julian and G2 into it?
My last thing is I want to try and get like a walk and talk going, and kind of make sure we're giving the harvesters some space so we don't get caught in front of one of them. If that would be okay with you, Riley.
I mean, yeah, if you start like wheedling away a little bit, he's gonna kind of like nudge forward.
Perfect. All right, I'm gonna just slowly like be like, aha, yes, the sun, plants, trees need the sun.
They do indeed. I really wish I could see the sun right now.
The sooner we finish, the sooner you see the sun.
That's true. Once I complete my secret mission.
And remember, the mission is secret.
Very much so. Yes. Super secret.
Yes.
Alright, so we see Julian. He exits. You guys see Julian exit the farm, and he's going to one of the other fields. You're in one that's like just getting planted. He's going towards one that has lots of grave wheat in it. Are you guys interested at all in going with? Because you see G2 follow not soon after.
I'd say follow him if possible, but I turn and I'm like, be polite about Paylor. I will talk to him after about Paylor with pamphlets.
Pamphlets.
for now, shh, and listen. Learn from this man of the field.
I'm all for learning.
Yes.
So Julian gets you to the edge of the field. He's like, you ever sing?
He's talking to G2, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. These are not joys that I personally have done, but I do know that some enjoy it.
He nods. He's like, well, I learned a few songs from my father. Something just to pass the time. Back, he worked with his brothers, but and he looks far away from him. He's like, none of my brothers are around anymore. He says, we have to have some noise to really show you what I mean. So I'm gonna sing now. And he just starts like humming this little tune, and he's kind of out of key, right? It's not awful, it's not unbearable, but it's not good. You know what I mean? As he's just humming. I don't even know exactly I don't know exactly what the song is. I don't want to spoil it by making it about anything specific. It's something about passing the day along, right? I mean, the day being a loose sense here, but just trying to find some purpose in your work, even if your work is tedious. And he walks into the grave wheat, and it's probably only 4 or 5 feet tall, so he's kind of he's not having to jungle his way through, but right, he's moving it to the side and taking a couple steps. You follow him?
That's the question, isn't it?
And then Squid, you said you were following along. You caught this, at least the tail end of it, when he started humming weirdly.
I think she got halfway through the door when she realizes she's leaving her friend back with a creepy doll. So she takes a minute to gather her strength and slowly go back and sit down.
Oh, all right. So we're gonna not cut to that yet, then, because we see you at the door, and then you put a hand on it, right? And you turn back, and you're thinking to yourself, Nico's in there alone. So you go back. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we saw that, but we don't see what you see. G2, are you following or not?
Can I take a look at this grave wheat and see what's up with it? Because we haven't been close to it really until this point. So
yeah,
can I take a look at that and see what I see about it?
Sure. Do you have nature?
Why would I have nature? I'm a city snake. No.
I'm a city snake.
I'm a high snake.
Let me take a look and see what I have here.
And then obviously Drib and
we're close enough at this point to be able to check.
If you want to go up to him, you can.
Yes, if possible.
Yeah, nature check. Here we go.
Ooh,
that's not bad.
And mind if I roll nature as well?
Sure.
Is that what we're doing? Nature.
Oh.
Where's my nature? I got nature.
I've been super intrigued by this stuff, so.
18. Well, all right.
Yeah, Goose.
Yeah, 2 nature boys.
You can't find the forest through the trees,
He's kind of sifting through the Paylor pictures of his pamphlet.
Why do I picture that this is just triple X rated? Just
it's like a pinup.
Right, pinup Paylor. Oh
they're
my God.
tasteful.
Are they
They're
tasteful?
tasteful.
Yeah.
Yes. The sun is providing censorship.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. So Drib and G2, I don't think that have nature trained, right? You're literally just looking at it.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I think you do a lot of things to it very quickly as you grab it in your hand, ready for spikes to be in there, or for it to ooze blood or start screaming, right? You rip some out of the ground, you sniff it, you taste it a little bit. It doesn't seem poisonous or anything. You do a lot of these very simple things, is it going to try and kill me? Is it alive? Is it malevolent? Right? And none of those things seem to be an issue.
All right, then I follow.
Yeah. Drib, you look at it on a much more analytical level. It looks like exactly what I imagine rice like wild grain rice to look like, so it grows up kind of like cat stalky, but instead of being like a big hot dog sitting on the end of it, right, it's like fine grains with like hairs coming off. So it looks almost exactly like that. It's just pale white.
Intriguing.
Yeah. And you can like take some seeds or whatever if you want.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, you find some well germinated grave wheat or whatever.
Very nice. I'll add that to my inventory.
Are you guys going or no?
I am following.
All right, and Goose, are you going?
Yeah, I'm just kind of waddling behind him.
Okay. So almost immediately when you kind of cross, quote unquote, the threshold of the grave wheat, you're like, wow, that guy got some distance, right? Like, he seems super far away. And as you kind of take a couple steps, you realize, no, he's only, he's now, he's probably got like 6 or 7 steps on you, not like 1 or 2, because you held back a second. But he sounds like he's 30, 40 paces away. Everything seems so distant, despite when he started, he was mumbling at like a half volume tune, right? Like a normal conversational tone. Now you have no way of knowing, right? Like maybe he's fucking with you, but if he is, he's doing it very well because he seems like he's super far away.
Is there any sort of way I can figure out if this is magic that he's using?
Yeah, Arcana trained?
No, not trained.
I mean, you understand the basic premise of throwing your voice, certainly.
Yeah, I guess.
Trained.
What's that?
I'm Arcana trained.
Sure, go ahead and roll.
I'm one magical boy.
I have an idea when Riley's done. Oh,
hey.
Is that just a 7 though?
No, that was my
the
nature
7 was
roll.
nature.
Oh, my bad.
It
Yeah,
was
okay,
18
good.
plus 2.
Yeah, I mean, you don't think he cast a spell, despite, like, you didn't see him the whole time, but he didn't ever break his verbal components, right? He's been humming this song the whole time, so unless the song is, right? Like, you don't think he was magic, although being, like, the very sharp and clear delimitation, I think, between where outside of the grave wheat and in it, you're like, maybe this stuff's magic.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of whisper that to them. I'm just like,
Guys, I think this stuff is magic.
All right, so after, like, I've kind of noticed this, I like have an aha moment. I try and like quickly shuffle several like steps away from them. Like I'm trying to hurry through without trampling the grain.
To him?
No, like kind of going diagonally, like a little to like sort of in his direction, but a little to the right, to kind of form like a triangle of our 3 parties with me sort of in between. And then I try and I caw because he's a bird.
Yeah.
And like just listen to the sound of it and see if that, because I think this stuff mutes things, like makes things quiet.
And indeed it does. You are surprised even at the absence of noise emanating from your own voice, let alone the surprise on everyone else's face when they know you were loud. They can see it.
Yeah.
And he turns and looks at you, and he gives you the business, right? And he's like, "Oh, you're getting it, boy." I mean, and he's like, "Oh, you're getting it, boy." Right? It like barely echoes over to you. He takes a couple steps. Ooh, I don't know who. Hold on.
This is amazing.
One is Drib, 2 is G2. Yeah, so he moves a couple steps towards Drib, and he looks at you with like unsettling, creepy eyes. Right? Come on, lock into place. He's like, silent like the grave.
Yeah. Grave wheat.
Goose
So
starts,
this is like Drib is loving this. It's magical plants.
Yeah.
Like
Goose starts yelling and dancing around too.
Right, yeah. He just sort of looks at you and he takes a couple steps. And from his perspective, you just go, and you just can't hear anything.
I think she too goes up to Julian and tries to communicate him with him by being close. And he says, "Was there something you wanted to talk?" Oh, sorry, my bad. Was there something you wanted to discuss in private with very few ears around?
He turns around, trying to figure out exactly what you mean. He says, I mean to show you, boy. Olinsky has got graveweed all around it and more. I mean it when I say they like their silence.
Thank you for illustrating this for us. I would not have understood if you tried to tell me.
Yeah, he just nods. It's like, does a lot of things. It does a lot of things.
Goose is doing the Sound of Music, like the hills are alive, like arms in the air.
Can you even see through the wheat, or is this just like a field?
No,
like
we just cut and we hear nothing, and we just see the grave wheat shaking a little. It's like signs.
Right. And he says, is not to suggest that you should not be trusted, but you're helping us so much. Is there any way we might be able to repay you for such valuable information?
Yeah, and you're still like really close to him, and he's like, don't touch the prize winners.
Prize winners? And because I wasn't there for...
You're right. Yeah.
And we cut. Nico, what does Kaylin find when she returns to the room? You were alone for maybe 12 seconds. Completely alone.
I've just been kind of giving the doll some sideways glances. I've noticed it's reaching in my direction, and I've poured myself 2, maybe 3 more drinks and quickly consumed them in 12 seconds.
So we come in and you're like draining the 3rd glass, and we somehow we can hear you set down your flask, and it's like, oh, that's hollow. It was not hollow before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, but you haven't moved or anything?
No, I haven't moved. I've just kept kind of like glancing over, preparing to speak, but we'll see if Kaylin wants to do anything first.
Got a weeping angel vibe.
High or low?
Me?
Yeah.
High.
Okay, cool. So the last time you took like a big swig, right? At some point it got up onto the table and is crawling towards you.
What?
And that's when Kaylin returns to the room. You maybe that's what happens. You drop the flask because it's on the table, but nothing comes out because you finished it, and Kaylin, you're in the room now.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh.
Oh. Sorry, yeah. You saying anything's good?
She stops in her tracks. She's like,
Slowly backs away.
Lights the whole place on fire.
Burn it.
Don't. Just a kid.
I think Julian wanted to show us something out there. You should come check it out.
Oh my god. This didn't actually happen, did it?
No, I just really like the eyes.
It's got like a stained crotch.
I don't like the crotch. I like the eyes, but
for some reason, I don't know. Okay, this doll's weird.
You're killing me, Dave.
As this doll's like crawling at me, do I notice that it's like? I guess I want to do like insight. Is it trying to? Do I feel like it's trying to attack me, or does it seem like it's just desperate for help?
Yeah, go ahead. I hate to put it all on one insight check, but like it doesn't have any verbal communication right now.
Right, and I mean, I would kind of ask as it's coming, just like
why?
Like, are you? Yeah, just like, what? Why? What are you doing to me? But yeah, more so just why. Do you need help?
Yeah.
Where's my thing? Insight.
Blink twice if you need help.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly that.
Holy fuck.
Ooh.
There we go.
Oh no.
You know
Okay.
it's
Prepared for that, huh?
So I have this dirty little rule that I play with. So I really like the swinginess of crits, both crit success and crit fails. So I tend to, whenever possible, not only interpret it as like you gain a lot of insight, but like if it's a crit success, like the most optimal thing for possible happens for you, or vice versa, right? Like if it's a 1, the worst possible thing that could happen happens, right?
Which I also appreciate.
Yeah. So it looks and like it moves with you watching it, right? It stands up from its creepy little crawling position, and it looks over at Kaylin, and it looks at you. It looks at Kaylin again, and then it just nods once and jumps off the table and runs out of the room further into the house.
Oh god.
Should we follow her?
I'm inclined to follow. I'm a cat. I'm curious.
Satisfaction,
and
baby.
I've also had like 6 drinks by now, so I'm just like, yeah, it seems great.
Yeah, you're like, can't. That'll be fine. I can take a doll. All right. So you follow it into the next room, right? And it's like halfway through the room, and its turned and it's looked, and you're following it, and it like jumps for joy once, and then keeps running.
Clicks its heels.
Yeah, clicks its little heels.
I have a question. Is it a dimly lit house with only like a little bit of candlelight? So
Yeah,
like
yeah. There's only one exposed light bulb hanging from every room.
It's flickering a little bit.
Obviously, yeah. And
Yeah,
like, they're all
I have
like
no sense of.
they're all like tungsten green too, like. So it goes into the next room, and that next room takes you down like 3 sets of stairs into like a sunken living room. And there's like all of these like couches and stuff, and like none of them are like really nice or anything, but there's like pillows and like rugs and mats and just like junk everywhere. This is like, if you ever watch Parks and Rec, this is like Leslie Knope's like foyer, right? There's just like crap everywhere. There's like an impossible amount of crap. And it goes to like a love seat in the corner that's like behind another couch, and like starts like throwing itself against the love seat, just like again and again. It like and it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like nothing happens, but it's like doing it, and then it's like shaking and getting back up and doing it again.
Yeah, I'll lift up the cushions of the love seat or whatever, and say, "Is this? You want me to look in here?" And
right, and it like goes underneath the love seat, so like underneath like the wooden part of it too.
Okay. So I'd probably push that aside.
Squid, are you there?
Yeah, she's watching his back.
Okay. Yeah. Like as you do that, you pull away some of the carpet, and there is of course a trapdoor under there.
Of course there is.
Why wouldn't there be?
Yeah, I go in. Or I try to.
Okay. Yeah. You grab it and pull, and it goes like 2 inches, and then you hit like a hard chain. Go ahead and roll me a dex saving throw.
Dex saving throw. Okay.
Check for traps.
I've had too many drinks. I'm not checking for traps. I'm not checking for anything.
Okay.
I trust this thing with my life.
Yeah. No, I think that's right. You hit it, and you check, and you hear, and you're like, oh, and then Kaylin, this is your job. You get down there.
Yeah, she kind of gently moves Nico aside and kind of takes.
The doll gets very close to your face when you get down next to the thing, and it's like
doesn't blink.
I'll just start petting the doll while Kaylin's working her magic.
I like to imagine there's just a bunch of doll children sitting in a circle in an empty basement.
Should I roll sleight of hand to move the chain?
I think it's a proficiency. I think it's a tool proficiency. Do you have thieves' tools?
I do. You can borrow mine.
Sure. I'm pretty sure it's double proficiency in 5th edition, so I think it's just plus 4.
Oh, I do, yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just plus 4 at this level. You're 3rd level, right? 3rd or 4th?
4th.
That seems to be good.
Yeah, no, that's real good. You are able to separate like 2 thin strands of twine that go to either side that seem to like go underneath the floorboards. You're not sure how far, but you're able to like unhook them from the chain, because the point is like they go up and snap, right? And then whatever happens. But you separate both of like the little like fisheye hooks, and you can throw open the trapdoor.
Does there seem to be any light down there?
Come on. You can see in the dark though, right?
Yes, I can. Okay, so
We both can.
she gives Nico a look and then drops down in.
Yeah, the doll jumps down after you.
And I'll jump down behind the doll.
Ah, this is so good. I did not think that you would end up here, so I did not draw this map here. So close your eyes and come on a journey with me.
Oh no.
Because you can see in the dark, so you can see everything.
Yes.
It's only about a 20 by 30 foot room, right? It's just this uncomfortable little rectangle of damp earth, with like roots kind of growing through like the stacked, like slate stone wall, right? And just an uneven floor that is moist and alive, seemingly.
Oh god, he said the M word.
Pressed into one corner is a metal slab with what is undoubtedly, at least at one point, a human form. Go ahead and roll me perceptions. It's not that you don't see it. I want to see like to what level you understand what you're looking at.
I don't.
And then please be aware that surrounding you, much like Riley said, are 16 to like 37 more dolls.
That's right.
All like hanging in like twine, and some of them have been like more or less stapled to the walls. Some of them are like tucked up into like little cages underneath the floorboards and stuff, and all of them just reach out for you.
Of course.
And the little one that's free like waves. And it's like, if it could give the thumbs up, it would. So
Caitlin immediately drops down into a crouched position to get herself like balled up and as far away from reaching hands as possible.
Yeah, I mean they're only doll hands, so they're only like 8 inches at most. So Nico, you can see a human form that seems to be strapped down to that table, with very, very little light coming through from the roof. You're getting the reflection. There's something over the top of him. We would understand this, like maybe it's plastic, but like it seems too angular. Kaylin, you can see that there is some sort of like armor that has been like poured over or bolted onto this humanoid form. There's just like, it's basically if someone took like a sheet of tin and just like stretched it over the top of somebody and then just kind of like crudely hacked away at all of the excess. So he's just like been armor plated. Thoughts?
I go over to the slab and kind of look around the edging, see if there's any way to maybe pry it off.
Of course he's rolling. His own thing.
So you walk up to it, trying to figure out what's going on?
Yes.
Okay. Did we discuss whether you see color or not with these eyes?
I don't think we did.
Okay.
It's just gray, I think.
Yeah. The camera then, right, mercifully shows us a flash of bright green eyes as you approach this creature, and it slams against the edge of its chains and mumbles out incoherently. It goes for the jump scare. I'm sorry, it's a cheap tactic, but it works.
She startles, stops, and turns to look at Nico.
And he's like, sorry, I'm drunk.
Yeah. Yep. I whip my head and look at it, and I'm vaguely familiar with tinkering and creating things somewhat like this. So I just started kind of studying it at first, like for it, like how it was created or how this thing is animated, I guess.
Yeah. What do you have a skill for that? Do you have Arcana or anything?
I do have Arcana.
Craft? Yeah, go ahead and roll me a craft.
Craft?
Or Arcana, sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, real good. Yeah, you get up close to it, and the clinking of the chains, right, they're settling as it's like put its arms down, and it like tries to turn its head, and you hear like whatever articulation happens in the back of its neck struggle with the inflexibility of its like frontal armor, right? And it just says, "Brother, why?"
Brother, why?
Thank you, Friendly Plays X. What a good time to follow the podcast.
Thanks.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I want to snap back to the other group.
So I was
You
just
must have really loved your brother, huh?
no. I was asking about. He mentioned prize winners, and I'm intrigued because I wasn't there for that.
Mm-hmm.
They got pumpkins where you're from?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'd grow like fancy pumpkins.
Could I see them?
You can't
They
touch them.
sound... Of course.
It would be good to know what it is we can't touch so that we don't touch it.
Yeah.
But
True.
can I put little hats on them?
No.
No.
Hats are touching.
And he just glares
Extra
at you.
fancy.
And he like
No.
he walks like very near you to like try and make you have to take a step back. Do you hold your ground?
Yeah, he just stands there. He thinks he's coming close to... Because we're in, like, a quiet space. So, he's just making sure that I can hear him.
Yeah, he just glares at you and keeps walking. He heads towards the back of the barn.
I follow suit.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not far, right? Unless you guys are, like, lighting the place on fire, as Val suggests, or blowing things up.
No.
You keep up after him, and, a couple minutes later, you're back on the other side of the barn. And he's got 3, like, I don't know, like 4 foot wide, like, gourds. They're like all those, like, bumpily, pimply looking ones, right? Like horned melons. Everything's, like, rounded out. They're, like, gray, that, like, have, like, kind of black and white spots all over them. They're kind of cool looking. They don't seem to be, like, amazing, They're big. They're bumpy.
I mean, I'll appreciate them and be like, amazing. Because they're big fancy pumpkins. Like, I like that.
For here, I'm sure they are.
Yeah. And I'll just remember to not touch them. Yeah. And then kind of proceed to be like, oh, yes. Intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, he's
think-
literally, like, 3 years running.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, he's got, like, a bit of pride. He, like, smiles. He's like, yeah, we keep him safe.
We shall not harm them.
Well, I want to thank you for showing us your estate and all of your prized possessions. Now, it is getting rather late. Maybe we should collect our belongings and turn in for the night.
Yeah, he says, "Yeah, the rest of your party didn't come. I assumed they'd all want to see the grave wheat. Make sure they don't touch the prize winners."
Of course. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I guess I'll send him out then. And he just, like, hikes up his pants and kind of trots off.
Goose turns to Crib with, like, big ol' eyes. Like,
I have dinner now.
Oh, dinner.
And I think G2 says, like, gives like a sigh. He's like, I'll see what I can get from the table.
Thank you, G2.
He looks at Drib and he gives Goose a quick look, and he says to Drib, "You're on babysitting duty," and just keeps going. So he follows Julian inside.
Yeah. All right, we're back in the basement.
Oh boy.
You said, "Why, brother?" Or whatever the fuck I said, something like that.
Hey, brother, why? Yeah.
Yeah.
Brother, me or Julian? Julian's your brother?
Yeah, and he like just right, like howls and strains against his metal cage of emotion.
And an actual cage.
And an actual cage.
Yeah. Jeez.
this is a lot to unpack here. Give me a second.
Kaylin turns to look at the doll.
Yeah, the doll's like gone over to like the wall and is like clambered up like 2 or 3 of the stones. Looks like it's trying to go up to one of its friends? Question mark.
Just
family? Associates?
Yeah, you doing anything else with the doll?
I mean, I'm gonna put like 60 of them on the map now just to fuck with you guys, but like...
Cool.
So yeah, I'll look to the doll too and say like, you know, should we? Does he need help? Or did you bring us down here to help him? Or to help you guys? What? Why are we here?
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that doesn't do what I want. I mean, the doll looks at you, right? Like it's like wavering on the edge of the thing, like it doesn't want to fall, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it like points towards one of its friends that's up on the thing, and then like tries to do a little twirl, but it's like standing on like a 1/4 inch of stone on the edge of the wall, and then it's like falls off and falls onto its back, and it starts climbing again.
While Nico's looking at the cage thing, Kaylin will go over and attempt to help her get the one that Val.
Sure. Probably not what I'm looking for at all. Yeah, I mean, you're able to pull one down pretty easily, right? And it just like clambers up on your shoulder and just like sits there. It's got a blue ribbon in its hair. I'll do what I need. Well, that's pretty good, actually.
Oh my gosh.
This looks like it's turning into a combat zone.
Oh
Why
boy.
would I would never do that.
Well, no.
Oh boy.
Why would he put so much effort into this?
Because he's a perfectionist for D&D.
I am a perfectionist for D&D, that's true.
Yeah, I'll try to talk to this duder strapped down here. Be like, you know, if we set you free, what will you do?
He's like, Julian says protect the farm. I was being good.
What did you do?
And it like fights against the chains for a moment, right? It's like, I only got drunk one time.
Cheers to that, brother.
You clink your glass against his metal body.
Yeah. You want one now?
You offering?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like right, there's like 2 little slits for its mouth.
Should we be afraid of Julian? Are we safe here?
Oh, what a question. I mean, there's so many layers to that. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion with advantage.
Oh, where did my
You gave him a drink, right? Or what you had?
Oh, I offered him one. I don't know if he took it, but...
Yeah, he, like...
Persuasion with advantage. Well, they're both crits, so...
What is with these dice tonight? Oh my god.
Dang.
Dan gets 3 crits on 2
On
rolls.
2 rolls? Seriously, fucking legend. Right, like, no part of this has bothered you yet. You're just like, man strapped to a table. It's not my business.
You see a lot of things while you're tending a bar.
Yeah, right.
I've been strapped to a table myself.
He pulls up against it, right? And you like hear the tin metal on the front of him like crease as he bends like as close to you as he can, right? His like mouth is still like slapping the inside of his like metal face, right? As he's enjoying the first taste of alcohol and for as far as you know, years. Right? And there's like these sad, fearful eyes, right? Again, just like 2 little slits for eyes, right? Behind this metal mask. This guy has been like vacuum sealed to like an ugly sheet of like metal, right? Like he has no real mobility. You don't know what's been going on here, but it doesn't seem like it's been very successful. And he says with this like shaky voice, he's like, "If I was you, stranger, I would start running and never look back."
Well, yeah, that seems promising. Are you coming with us?
He's like, right, and he starts pulling on the chains. Squid, what are you doing?
She hands the creepy doll the doll she got down for, and then goes over to try and inspect the chains to see if she can get them out.
Yeah, so both of the dolls, I imagine you're wearing fairly, like, form-fitting material as a rogue, right? Like, you don't have, like, big billowy nonsense.
Right.
Yeah, they're kind of, like, dragging along with your legs like kids do then. And if you, like, turn back and look, they both, like, point to another one. And it's, like, one that's been, like, impaled on, like, a big metal hook, right? It's just kind of, like, dangling, and it's, like...
Let's just take them all.
Yeah, your Mechano man here, right? Throws all his weight into these chains, and you can hear them starting to like bend and buckle as he's like ripping. I mean, he's probably ripping himself away from this too. Like that doesn't seem great, but he's also breaking the chains. It sounds very painful. It's extraordinarily loud. I will not get into all of the grunting that's happening, but rest assured it's there.
Cool.
So, does G2 hear any of this happening? Because he's upstairs, or at least...
Yeah, so the timing is such that you're probably just walking in the house now, as there's like one inappropriate, bewildered grunt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Julian looks at you, and he like hustles to the kitchen, or the dining room, right where everybody was, and nobody's there. And he's like, he looks at you, and he has a very serious face, and he's like, you better hope that was an accident. And there is danger. There is a threat in his voice.
I think at this point, so I noticed that threat, and at this point I'm like, no, this is too weird. This is too creepy. There's too much going on. I need to take control of the situation, and I'm gonna try to charm him.
Oh, yes, you are.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let me get a book.
Alright.
Become my best friend.
Yeah. So we want to be very specific. What does the charm say about what it can do for you?
I will read it out loud. I'll actually... Okay, so... Suggestion. So, one time, I can cast it that lasts, let's see. You suggest an activity to a creature of your choice that you can see and that can hear and understand you. You're limited to 2 sentences. Creatures that can't be charmed are immune. The suggestion must be worded to make the action sound reasonable. Asking the creature to do something obviously self-harmful ends the spell. So, think what I want to do then. And let me read actually because I thought it lasted for like a 24-hour period or something like that, didn't it? Like, I can look that up.
What's it based off of?
5e suggestion.
An hour.
No, I mean even an hour is better than him attacking you right now.
Oh sure, yeah. I want to see because that'll dictate what I say to him now if I know how long that lasts.
Yeah.
It says
concentration up to 8 hours.
Up to 8 hours.
Oh,
Just long enough for rest, eh?
You don't get to rest though because you need to maintain concentration.
Where are you
Correct.
finding concentration?
Let's see. It says
We are playing 5e, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
correct. Yes.
Alright. I think it's just 1 hour.
279 is the page I'm on in the player's handbook. It has that.
Yeah. Concentration up to 8 hours sounds right.
Alright.
I need to know the saving throw and what my DC is.
Yeah.
If there is one.
So
the
Wisdom saving throw.
Not seeing.
A highly old farmer has a halfway decent wisdom saving throw.
Huh.
One of his 2 proficiencies, in fact.
Oh
Ooh,
boy.
interesting.
The other one's con.
That
Alright,
makes
so what do you need from me for this?
Your DC is typically 8 plus proficiency plus relevant spellcasting modifier. It depends a little on what is giving you this spell.
Well, it's a racial ability. Right? That was what... that was a 1T.
Yeah. Does it say?
1T suggestion.
One of the components is a snake's tongue.
Which I have.
Oh, you have that.
Yeah. I feel like I had this in here. Why it's not there?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna roll because we'll know pretty clearly on the DC's more than likely somewhere around the 14 neighborhood, right? So if I roll a 3, it doesn't matter. If I roll a 15, it doesn't matter.
Oh, well,
that doesn't seem to matter.
Yeah,
that doesn't matter.
So what was your compulsion, or does it not matter?
I was going to say something like having our wits about us would serve everyone well, and that was going to be just to suggest that we don't fight, we don't get violent.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he would have quite understood it like that, but I think at the very least he has thrown off your suggestion. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know that he's completely aware of it though either.
Okay. And so I know that he has thrown it off. Then he's resisted.
Yeah, because he he threatened you, and you kind of made him lock eyes with you, and you flashed your what's the snake from Jungle Book?
Ka.
Yeah, you flashed your Ka eyes at him, right? And he grunted in the negative, right, too, and he's like, ain't gonna have to worry about that. and he just like grabs like a butcher's cleaver from the table or the kitchen or something.
All right, and
it stalks into the living room.
All right, I holler out for help from my party members outside.
Oh shit! Okay.
Can we hear him from the barn?
Go ahead.
There should be. I was gonna say there should be no wheat between the two. So
yeah, the wheat being around tends to mess with sound a little bit. Go ahead and roll a con saving throw with advantage, Dan, and we'll set a
con. You said?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. 15.
Okay, one more.
Oh, with
advantage as you bellow out, right?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, one better.
Yeah, I think that's all right. You know, passive perception's going to catch that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys definitely hear a commotion, such that it is time to go into the house, perhaps with weapons drawn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go necessarily with weapons drawn, but I'll probably have my staff out and be using it like a walking stick. Did we have any... This happened pretty much within, like, a minute or so of them leaving the barn, right?
Yeah, like 2 minutes later. I apologize.
Oh, no, it's fine.
So
I was going to look around, but not much time for that.
Nico and Kaylin, if this thing breaks free of its, entrapment, what are you doing?
I'm gonna, he's saying that we should run as far as we can from here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell it should get revenge on its brother.
Yeah, it's like, brother.
And I'll even help him get out of there so he doesn't rip his own limbs off.
You giving him a boost?
Yep.
Oh my god, that's so crazy. Okay.
Is there any locks or anything she can peck on the chains to help him release?
Yeah, I mean, he ripped himself free.
Oh, he has already. Okay.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job with his strength checks. You gave him the proper motivation. So he ripped himself free. That was like the grunt that kind of brought Julian in. So Julian runs into the room with a butcher's cleaver. As I understand it, G2 is getting everyone to come running. But are you following Julian, or are you staying back for a second?
Nah, absolutely, I'm following.
Okay, so you're following closely behind him. Nico,
Yeah.
you're helping this thing out of like the trap door.
Yeah, and I'm summoning children, baby dolls, everything. I'm looking to them like, you coming?
Come here, baby doll.
Kaylin's helping get them down and everything, all the high ones climbing around.
This is the second of many heists in this game is the heist of stolen evil possessed dolls. Is you jam 6 or 7 of them into a bag.
He's got a big old
like
party.
supermarket sweep, just running down with your arms extended. Yeah, so we got a couple minutes. I think this might end a lot sooner than anyone's expecting, because you push hold on, what's his name? You push Ebril like half out of the trap door, and Julian sees his crazy brother that he's got stapled to like a tin can downstairs coming out, and he's got a butcher's cleaver in his hand, and he just like slams it into his head just to try and like an avocado, right? Just like slam it and turn.
Oh God, April, I hardly knew you.
Holy shit!
Let's see how he does.
Escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Well, this is all happening in the other... Oh.
God.
He does that, and Ebril like snaps his head backwards. He's like, revenge! Right? He screams it, and the cleaver hits and turns sideways and just diverts. G2, what are you doing?
I have my morning star ready at this point, I believe, because I had heard that.
Yeah.
Coming.
You also saw it. You saw it coming.
The question is, I don't think he knows, G2 knows who the threat is here.
There is a half-dead man climbing out of the the floorboards, as it were.
If it's anything, I'm also shouting revenge from the trapdoor.
as you're like stuffing doll children into a bag.
Kaylin's not taking them. She's just getting them down for the creepy doll that let them down here.
Yeah, we're just letting them free. They can do what they want.
Yeah,
they form a doll pyramid to get out of the trapdoor, and then they form a
start
doll.
tossing them up past the metal guy.
They're like a barrel of monkeys. They've just like linked arms, and they're just dangling.
Can someone please draw this? Just like Robo-Man, half out the trapdoor, cleaver, dolls flying out from it.
Yeah, I think at this point, G2 just like sees all this chaos, and he's like, doesn't want to get in the middle of it. He's like, I'm not in danger at this exact moment, so I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah, I didn't do this. This isn't mine.
I didn't do this, so this isn't mine. No.
I don't like this.
So he's just waiting. I guess if there's an action to take, it's like getting ready to dodge and
Sure.
if any danger should come my way.
Yeah, no, that's fair. We're gonna try and get the rest of the way out of the trapdoor. Which we do not do. This thing is kind of like stuck wedged in the middle of it, and it's groaning and flailing its arms around. Nico and Kaylin, is there anything you want to do in particular?
Kaylin's gonna grab one of the guy's feet and have Nico grab the other and try to push him out more.
Yeah, really give him that boost.
Yeah.
Nico, you down with that?
I'm down with that.
Okay, right, I'm gonna go one more
This guy wants
time.
revenge. I'm not one to deny it.
He does want revenge. Okay. You flop him out of the rest of the way, and he just like a dead metal slug just like plops down on the top of it and is oozing. Drib and Goose, you are in the room now.
This room's adjacent to the dining room, right?
Yeah.
All
There's
right,
one room
so
in between them, but
all right, so I'm kind of like looking in here. I'm just like in the other room, probably looking through, and I see Cleaver and Metal Man and people screaming revenge.
yeah, a lot of people screaming revenge.
Did anyone have a chance to clear the table from dinner yet, or are there still pies and breads?
Yeah, there's still lots of pies and breads.
Cool. Any breads that I feel would travel well, I'm gonna put in my bag. And I'm gonna grab the most appealing looking. I'm gonna grab myself a vegetable pie, and one for Goose as well.
Okay. And Goose, what are you doing?
So we're in the dining room. I want a pie.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. There's
Handled.
two kinds of players.
They have this handled. We didn't eat dinner yet.
All right.
Oh man, you think they're doing okay?
G2, what do you want to do with this?
Revenge.
What's Julian doing?
He's screaming profanities, mostly at his house guests, but also at what apparently is his brother.
Okay, so I figured that it's his brother. I've gotten something from that.
Yeah. He's like, God damn it, Eberil. You go back in the basement. Think about what you did. And he's like, revenge, brother. And he's like getting to his feet, and he's like a gingerbread man. He can't like move his arms.
This guy doesn't seem like much of a threat.
I still kind of want to see how this plays out. Like, I want if there's revenge to be had, I want this guy to get it. I don't want to be the one to strike down a guy.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. They're gonna go at it, but I'm just curious: is anyone getting involved? Like Nico and Kaylin, are you like gonna do anything, or are you content to let this play out the way it was meant to?
Kaylin's gonna let the family take care of the family business while she continues to throw the dolls out from underneath before she climbs.
Okay, Nico.
I'm gonna take at least one doll under my arm, and I'm just gonna try to like skedaddle right by. And as if I can pass through, I'm gonna say to everybody like, "Now's a good time to go."
So, the metal man has got quite he's got good armor class and he's very strong. But Julian has full mobility, and he pulls out what is essentially ye olde cattle prod and just jams it right into the eye slits of his brother, and then just like shocks him. So we're gonna see how that plays out.
That's cheating.
Nah, you gotta keep him in line, man. Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Fight him honorably.
Yikes.
Yeah. But the brother's still up, and he can make 2 attacks. He just sort of like slams into his brother, like clear through a wall and into the next room when he just like body slams him, right? Like just takes him to the ground. Which is enough both times, and he does.
While they're fighting, and Kaylin climbs out, she'll look around at the dolls and say, "You guys have been trapped for how long? You should go take your revenge."
What?
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean the dolls like look around and they just like all go towards the door.
It's fine.
So at this point, Julian's got like the cattle prod in through the middle of like the slits on the mask, and he's like he's basically connecting the 2 batteries together, and he's like bzz, bzz, right, and the brother Ebril is like convulsing and like hollering and like crying and screaming for both revenge and forgiveness. But then Ebril's also like punching him with like a metal enclosed fist. And Julian's definitely taking a beating. Is the party interested in getting involved, or are you still letting this happen?
Have I packed up all the breads and pies I think I can take?
Yeah, you got a lot of bread and pie.
I also stuffed my pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I think G2's ready to do something.
Cool.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I'll get
I'm
ready.
hearing Agony and April, and I'm like, God,
Yeah.
I thought he could handle himself.
I mean, he's not doing bad, but Julian's got the intelligence.
He's cheating.
All right.
Yeah.
He's not cheating. How is using a cattle prod cheating?
So
All right, everyone,
metal.
go for non-lethal attacks so that his brother can murder him fair and square.
Let's just restrain him. Hold him
that's
down.
exactly what I was thinking.
Nah, we're killing him.
So we're rolling initiative, I assume.
I think if everyone is like, yeah, we fuck up Julian, I don't think there's a roll to be had.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I have
It's
a
down to
shillelagh.
Julian already has a cattle prod in his brother. He'll convulse it one more time, and I think you guys are able to take him down.
Yeah.
Cool.
Julian has less HP than his brother and a lower AC.
All right.
He
All
just
right.
had more damage. So that's what the group wants to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lethal or non-lethal?
Non-lethal.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Let his brother kill him. That's what's fair. I also want to see if I can wrestle the cattle prod away, because we might want to get rid of that from him.
Should keep it.
Okay. Yeah, so Ebril's still alive. He's got... That is 49 damage. He's 49 out of 77. So he's like not doing well, but
Well.
he's alive, whereas Julian only had 19 HP left. Right? So even Ebril, like one punch might drop him, but if you guys like pile on, there's no hope. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, somebody comes up where you just club him with like the back of your Morning Star, right? And then everybody else is just like pop, 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 right?
I have shillelagh.
Yeah. Do you stay for like the end of this family ordeal? Do you tie him up? Do you throw him in the basement? Do you just knock him out and walk away and leave Ebril to finish the job? What's the plan?
I'd like to tie him up
Same.
I also vote tie him up.
Okay.
and let Emerald Agassi pass judgment.
Ebril. E-B-R-E-L.
Ebril.
Also, can someone explain why there were so many dolls piling out of this basement?
A collector?
I was going to say no, I don't think they can.
No.
That's a question for the unconscious man. Or maybe Eberl.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I think at this point though, like, I'm like kind of just looking like, aren't we gonna get some sleep? And just like all this happened.
You
It's
can
like,
sleep in the
what
house now. You don't have to sleep
Yeah.
in the barn.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Does anyone like? Do you want to witness the scene where Julian is ended? Do you want to
Yes.
be the ones ending him?
Oh, let his brother. I'll watch though. I'm curious.
I'll watch.
I'm gonna watch.
Of course, you guys.
Somebody.
Didn't have to
I
worry
probably
about you
have-
guys.
I have
Caitlin
some
does not
time
want to
left.
watch. She
Yeah.
goes back to the kitchen and has a drink.
Yeah, I didn't have to worry about you guys going bad. That's for sure.
Yeah, G2 does not want to watch.
Okay.
Is it just Riley and I?
And
No, I'm
and
not.
Nico.
I'm not watching.
And Nico.
Oh, so it's just Nico. I have some pie left, and I'm just like,
You're just like. This is macking on.
I've
some
helped
pie.
him this far. I want to see him see what he
Yeah.
does.
revenge.
Yeah. So. I think you would have taken him outside, right?
Okay.
Took him outside. Took him like into the fields, assuming you followed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he took him to like this old broken gate that looks like it's been repaired once or twice. That always just like slides open, right?
Oh.
And an hour later, Julian wakes up, right, and he's just kind of like slumped next to this hanging open gate. And Eberl again is like, right, like can't actually move super well, and he's like, "The gate, brother. I didn't mean to make a mistake. You know the old farm." And he's like, Julian's like, "Yes, Eberl, I'm sorry. I can make it up to you, I swear. I was trying to make you better." What are you saying?
I'm just gonna ask how he can make it up to him. This whole thing seems horrific.
Right, he turns and looks at you, he's like, "This is a family affair."
Eh?
And he like spits some blood.
In Everill's voice, I just go, "Brother."
Do you say anything, Nico?
Nah, I think I just keep watching.
Okay. Yeah, and Eberl's like, he's trying to pace, but it's not like it's working super well. And he's like, no, this. And he like, you know what I mean, like touches his face. He's like, "This is me now. My farm." And Julian just sort of like, just like looks like wide-eyed.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, and Eberl pulls his like metal faceplate away, just like peeling back flesh, right? Just this like boiled up skin and everything. And he looks at him real close, and Julian's like, he's like just pleading. He knows what's coming, but he's trying like to not get into it. You know, he's like, no, Eberl, I swear, well, it's your farm. That's right. You can take care of everything, and I'll help you. And then like, just crunches his neck.
Oof. With the gate?
No, just with his metal-clad hands.
Okay.
It is not quick, and it is not dry, but he just right until there's just nothing left.
But thankfully, because of the grape wheat, it's quiet.
Right, he just holds him there.
The grave.
Right. And when he lets go, there's like, you know, like Play-Doh when there's like a really big one, and you like squeeze it into nothing, and you can like see like the ridges between your knuckles. Right, like that's his neck, and he just falls over sideways into the ground. And then Eberl's like, "The grave wheat will grow strong." And he just trots away towards the house.
Wait, can we spend the night?
He just keeps walking.
Well, can I like do some like ritual thing? I feel a little bad for what's his face, like just to let his body grow the grave wheat well or something. I don't know.
Sure, you
I
can
don't know
do
if he
it,
deserved
magic
that.
it. Nico, are you satisfied with the ending?
Yep, I'll raise a glass to Ebril. And then I'll be like, now about those plants.
Are we the baddies?
What are you talking about? Goose
We
is just enjoying
liberated
some
an
pie.
entire basement.
It's true. It's true. Where did we
see where all these dolls went?
Yeah, where did they go?
Yeah, they are marching single file along the road. You're not sure where they're going. They're definitely going north, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to Olinsky.
Bye, dolls.
Do I still have the one under my arm?
It would try and get away. It would like do the whole like, look, they're going that way. I gotta go. Me too.
Yeah, I'll give it a little pat on the back.
No,
You know.
pat. Yeah, it like, and it holds up a metal thimble.
Oh, I accept.
Yeah.
This offering.
Yeah, and it like, and then runs. Yeah.
Just like flop run.
Yeah. Where do we see the last scene of the episode, or is everyone comfortable with that being it?
Seems like
I
a.
don't know.
Are
Does
we-
everyone sit down at the dining table and we partake in festivities now?
We're not gonna party now that the host is dead. This isn't Clue.
We have a new host.
Well, at least we know we're safe.
Are we?
I know we're safe.
Hope so. Should we kill
Alright.
him too?
All right, I will be even more of a monstrous DM than I already have been. Who would like a DM intrusion?
Sure.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
let's
fun.
do this.
So
Great.
Tristan,
Yeah.
Drib really wants to touch those prize winners.
Yeah,
I
he
really want to
does.
touch those prize winners.
I
That's
really
why I said
do. They're
about those
magic
plants.
pumpkins, but they're gonna turn me into a pumpkin.
So maybe that's what we'll see then, right? Who's going along for the ride with the prize winners?
Dibs.
I want to put hats on them.
I think I'm going actually for this.
So everyone's seated at the dinner table looking around like, what do we do now, right?
Pumpkins.
I've got
Right, in Drib's just like in Julian's voice, like prize winner,
Prize
you got
winners.
pumpkins, and everybody's like, yes. All right, that's awesome. I like that. We're not even going to show them yet. We're going to talk about it, and that's where we'll end.
Yeah. We're all just running to the barn.
Everyone's running to the pumpkins. All right, cool. Thank you all so
Poor
much for
man.
playing.
We murder him and touch his prize-winning pumpkins.
We didn't get as far as I expected, but we did more here than I thought you were going to do. So you have learned nearly every secret of the old farm.
Yes. I feel like I still know nothing.
Yeah, like
What the heck is that image at the bottom there? I just scrolled down.
this.
That's
kid.
Ebron.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
Eberl.
Ebril.
Yeah,
I hate
Eberl.
it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. Yeah, I have a smattering of good, creepy, bald humanoid images. So
Oh, please tell me I know one of them.
that's
Oh,
fucked up. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Alright, so with that,
And scene.
yeah, I say adieu to everyone here. Thank you for playing. You were an excellent bunch of players tonight for humoring me in my creepy farmstead. And thank you everyone who watched. We had a good number of people hanging out in chat who also got to experience the madness that is any horror setting that my players let me throw them into. So we'll be back at it in 2 weeks. Hopefully we see you then. And that is not to say that we won't do other games in the meantime. I believe next Tuesday is Mike's 5th edition game, and then next Thursday should be Warhammer. So we'll be playing games and doing stuff.
Cool.
Good.
All right.
Spam those long boys.
Spam those long boys, yes. I'll spam a couple
Long
more
boys
long
in
boys
chat.
before we get out of here.
Like, comment, and long boy.
Like, comment, and long boy, that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming in, hanging out, and chatting. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. And that being said, I do think we're gonna get out of here. So everybody have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks.
Good night.
Thanks
Bye.
for watching. See ya.
I'ma touch the pumpkins.
I can't wait to touch the pumpkins.